want now, if that's what you want to do. So that's what he did. He would go down to the river every day, and he would sit there dreaming, and then he would go home in the evening and tuck into some nice food. And you know, this went on for quite a while. But you know, his wife was a funny lady, you know. She was a bit discontented because after a while she started thinking, well, if this fish could do this, if this fish could give us this brilliant cottage and food every day, and she had her family round to see and her friends, and she thought it would be much better if I had a place that was twice as big as this, with a really big lounge that people could come in, and a really big dining room where we could all eat, and a twice the size of pantry, and maybe a little, I don't know, a little carriage for me to get about in, and a bit of gold to spend on some nice clothes. Right, she said to him, off you go back down to the river and see that fish and tell him you've changed your wish and you want something else. I can't do that, said the fisherman. It was one wish he gave me. Oh, go on down and see what he says, she said. So off he went back down to the river, very doubtful, very doubtful. But there he went and he said, Prince Arak Bey of Seneraif, and he knew it well by now. By my good heart I saved your life. Now, royal silver fish, repay my act and grant my wish. Up popped the fish. What can I do for you, said the fish. Well, the house is a bit cramped, said the fisherman. And, you know, we have a lot of family and we have lots of friends and we kind of like to entertain a bit, and, you know, and my wife likes to get out and about, and so we're really after something a bit more grand. Oh, right, okay, said the fish. Bobbed back down under the water. The fisherman turned and looked round. Oh, heaven. There on the hillside was a beautiful mansion. Oh, it was gorgeous, with long gardens and peacocks in the gardens, and beautiful people walking about, and a carriage outside the door that shone as if it had been polished. And there was his wife in, oh, the most fine and beautiful clothes, strolling about entertaining her family and her friends. Oh, good, thought the fisherman. At last, she will be really happy now. We've got everything, absolutely everything. Nothing more that she could want. Well, of course, what I have to say here is, sadly, the fisherman didn't know his wife very well, because it wasn't all she wanted. Because after a while she got bored. I mean, what can you do when the pantry refills itself all the time and you don't need to cook because you only have to think of something lovely to eat and it's there. And all the clothes that you want just land in your wardrobe. So what she liked best was telling people what to do. So she said to the fisherman one morning, when you go down to the river today, you go and you have a word with that fish again. And you tell him, I want to be a queen. Because the queen can do anything, see? She can tell people what, so then I can live in a palace or a castle. No, a palace. I will have a palace, tell him. I will have a palace. And I will have a big carriage and one for my friends. And I will be able to tell everybody what to do. No, said the fisherman. No, I won't. I won't do that. I can't just go on asking every time just because you get bored. Are you telling me you won't go down there? I'll tell you what, she said, picking up a brush. I love this about you. You get down there and ask, right? Oh, no. No, this just embarrassing. Down to the river. Prince Arak Bay of Sen arrived by my good heart, I saved your life, now royal silverfish. Repay my act and grant my wish. Up popped the fish. What does she want this time then? Said the fish. Well, it's me really. Because this is for you, you know, these wishes are for you, the fish said, not for your wife. What does she want? No, it's me, it is for me really, because, well, you know, she wants to be a queen and have a palace. I know, you know, it's not really very likely, but that's what... Oh, go ahead, said the fish. He looked back down under the water, and he turned round and... Oh, God, it had happened! It had happened! Oh no! He didn't want to live in a palace. He didn't want crowds of people following them round. He didn't want his wife to rule the country. He didn't want any of those things, but he'd gone and wished for it, and he'd got it now. But at least, he thought, at least, as he trod the path up to the grand palace at the top of the hill, at least she would be happy now. There could be nothing further that she could ask for. So she would be happy, and they would live happily ever after. Ha ha. But you know what's coming next, don't you? She wasn't happy, was she? Oh no, she'd got everything. She'd got every single thing that you could think of having. She didn't have to worry about a single thing. She could tell everybody else what to do. She could keep servants. She had everything that she wanted. But one morning, she woke up, and it was very early, and the sun was in her eyes. And she shouted to the sun, "Get back! I am not ready to wake up yet!" But the sun took no notice. It carried on rising in front of the window. "Just get back where you came from! I am not ready to get up yet!" And the sun took no Well, it wouldn't, would it? The sun wouldn't take any notice. But she didn't know that, so she shook him awake. And she said to him, "Get you down to that river and have a word with that fish. And you tell him." He said I could tell everyone what to do, and the sun is not doing what I want him to. So you tell that fish, I want to rule the sun and the moon. I can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. You get down there now. You get down there now. And so pushed him out the door, and off he went down. Oh, and he was so downhearted. And he got to the river, and he stood beside it, and somehow the river looked awful. It looked dark and oily. It didn't have the sparkle that it usually had. There was something, he just felt so miserable being there. Oh, he thought, I wish, oh, well, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to ask him. I don't know what he's going to say. "Prince Arak Bay of Sen arrived by my good heart. I saved your life." I wish I'd flipping on. "Now, royal silverfish, repay my act and grant my wish." Up popped the fish. "Right," the fish said. "So what is it this time? She wants to be Pope now, does she?" Oh no. She wants to rule the sun and the moon. And then he heard this funny sort of bubbling noise coming from the fish, as though it was laughing. And the fish said, "What do you wish for?" "Oh," said the man, caught off guard. "Do you know, I wish I was back here with my net, living in a leaky old hut." And before the words had left his mouth, he knew it had happened, because the fish said, "Right, that's it. That's your wish. Farewell, last wish." And he turned round, and there it was. Up at the top of the hill was this leaky little hut, just as it had been when he first left it. And he was terrified of going home. Oh no, he thought, oh no. Well, I'll have to face it sometime. I'll have to tell her that that was a step too far. She could have had all those things, but no, she had to have that last thing. Back up the hill he went. Walked in through the door of the hut, and there sat his wife, very pale, very still. I've had a very weird dream, she said. And you know what? She was in shock, and she never ever said another word. Not ever. So the fisherman went out every day, doing his bit of fishing and catching what fish he could, very happy to be living beside the river on a sunny morning, with the water sparkling and the birds singing, and he never ever saw that strange, magical fish again. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.